Imagine this. You wake up every morning and pour yourself a tall glass of what you believe is one of the healthiest things you can drink. Fruit juice. No guilt, no sugar cravings, just pure vitamins, right? But new research is turning that morning ritual upside down. Scientists tracking nearly 27,000 people across 27 countries just found something that surprised even the doctors running the study. A daily habit millions of seniors consider healthy may actually be quietly raising their risk of one of the most dangerous medical emergencies there is: a stroke. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what the science says, what it doesn't say, and what you can do today to protect your brain and your heart without giving up the foods you love. So here's the surprising discovery. In September 2024, researchers published findings from the InterStroke study, one of the largest international investigations into stroke risk factors ever conducted. This wasn't a small lab experiment. It involved close to 27,000 participants across 27 countries, comparing people who had recently had a stroke with people who hadn't. And when the researchers looked closely at everyday beverages, something stood out. People who regularly drank fruit juice and fruit drinks had a notably higher chance of experiencing a stroke, and specifically, a higher chance of the kind of stroke caused by bleeding in the brain, known as a hemorrhagic stroke. Now, before you panic and pour your orange juice down the drain, let's slow down and unpack what this actually means, because the details matter a lot here. First, it's important to understand there are two main types of stroke. One is an ischemic stroke, which happens when a blood clot blocks blood flow to the brain. The other is a hemorrhagic stroke, which happens when a blood vessel in the brain actually ruptures and bleeds. This second type is less common, but tends to be more severe. The InterStroke research found that people who drank fruit juice or fruit drinks daily had around a 37% higher chance of this bleeding-type stroke compared to people who rarely drank them. And here's a detail that really caught researchers' attention. For people who had 2 or more of these drinks a day, that risk didn't just increase a little, it roughly tripled. So why would something marketed as healthy be linked to this? The researchers pointed to an important distinction that a lot of us overlook at the grocery store. Much of what's sold as fruit juice isn't simply fresh fruit squeezed into a glass. Many commercial fruit juices and fruit drinks are made from concentrate, and during processing, they often lose fiber while gaining added sugars, preservatives, and sometimes extra calories. Whole fruit contains fiber that slows down how quickly sugar enters your bloodstream. Juice, especially the processed kind, often doesn't have that buffer. That means a glass of juice can spike your blood sugar much faster than eating the same fruit whole would. Over time, frequent blood sugar spikes are linked to inflammation, damage to the lining of blood vessels, and increased blood pressure, all of which are established risk factors for stroke. This doesn't mean juice is the sole cause of a stroke happening. What it means is that regularly drinking sugary fruit beverages may add to a cluster of risks that, combined with other factors like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or diabetes, tips the scale in the wrong direction. Now, here's something crucial the researchers themselves were careful to point out. This was what's called an observational study. That means scientists observed patterns in large groups of people rather than directly testing cause and effect in a controlled trial. Observational research is incredibly valuable for spotting important patterns worth investigating further, but it cannot definitively prove that fruit juice by itself causes strokes. There could be other lifestyle factors at play among people who drink a lot of juice regularly. The researchers themselves said that further studies, including clinical trials, are needed to confirm whether this is a direct cause and effect relationship. What's not up for debate, though, is the broader message health experts have been repeating for years. Whole fruit is good for you. The fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants in an actual apple, orange, or handful of berries support heart health and are consistently linked to lower cardiovascular risk in major nutrition research. The concern here is specifically about processed fruit juices and fruit drinks. many of which behave more like sugary beverages than like fruit itself. Regularly drinking large amounts of sugar-sweetened fruit juice, something to be more cautious about. So, what can you actually do with this information? Let's get practical. First, if you enjoy fruit juice, consider treating it more like an occasional treat than a daily staple. Many health organizations, including the American Heart Association, have suggested limiting fruit juice intake to around 4 to 6 ounces a day for adults, roughly half a cup to 3/4 of a cup, and choosing 100% juice without added sugar when you do have it. That's very different from having a large 12 or 16-ounce glass every single morning. Second, whenever possible, reach for the whole fruit instead, an orange instead of orange juice, a handful of grapes instead of grape juice. You'll get the fiber that helps regulate sugar absorption, along with the same vitamins and antioxidants, and you'll likely feel fuller for longer too. Third, pay attention to labels. Some products labeled as fruit drinks or fruit cocktails contain very little actual fruit juice and a lot of added sugar. Look for 100% juice on the label, and even then, remember that moderation still matters. Fourth, and this is especially important for anyone managing high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease, talk to your doctor about your overall beverage habits. Stroke risk isn't caused by any single food or drink. It's shaped by a combination of factors including blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar control, physical activity, smoking status, and family history. Your doctor can help you understand where your personal risk stands and what changes, if any, make sense for you specifically. And here's an important safety note. If you're on blood thinners, blood pressure medication, or medication for diabetes, please don't make major changes to your diet without checking with your doctor or pharmacist first. Some fruits and fruit products can interact with certain medications. Grapefruit, for example, is well known to interact with several common heart and cholesterol medications by affecting how your body processes them. This is a completely separate issue from the juice and stroke research we just discussed, but it's a good reminder that when it comes to seniors managing multiple medications, it's always worth double-checking with a healthcare provider before making dietary changes, especially significant ones. None of these are quick fixes, and none of them are guarantees. But together, they represent the most evidence-based path we currently have toward protecting your brain as you age. So here's what I want you to take away from today. That daily glass of juice you've never questioned might be worth a second look. Not because fruit is your enemy, but because the form your fruit comes in matters more than most of us realized. Swap processed juice for whole fruit when you can. Keep portions modest when you do enjoy juice, and keep the conversation going with your doctor about your personal risk factors. Small, informed choices like these, repeated day after day, are exactly how real prevention works. If this video helped you see your morning routine in a new light, share it with someone you care about, because the people we love deserve to know this too. And if you want more clear, honest, science-backed health information made specifically for adults over 60, make sure you're subscribed, because we're just getting started.